They came without warning. The Varkun Dominion, a predatory empire that had stripped half the Orion arm bare of resistance, descended on New Carthage, a fledgling human colony world at the edge of charted space. To the Dominion, it was nothing but another territory to plunder. They did not send diplomats. They did not send demands. They arrived with fire, orbital lances carved continents apart. Their ships rained molten glass across the colony's surface, burning cities into silence. Families who had farmed the rich valleys for less than a decade were turned to ash before alarms finished sounding. A single human envoy ship attempted escape, broadcasting desperate pleas for ceasefire. The Dominion destroyed it without a second thought. The Varkun commander, Lord Iraktosh, laughed as he watched the corvette split into molten fragments on his tactical display. "This is what they call Earth's expansion?" he sneered, voice carrying across the command deck. "A pitiful seedling civilization. They are not predators, they are prey." By the time the assault ended, New Carthage was nothing but drifting rubble, oceans boiling into choking mist, survivors scattered and hunted like vermin. The Varkun fleet left in triumph. They believed the matter finished. Mockery, among the stars, the Dominion celebrated their victory across a dozen worlds. Their broadcasts spread to neutral systems, mocking humanity's weakness. "This is the cost of defiance," their message blared. "Earth is soft, their colonies fragile. Let all who shelter under their flag see their fate in New Carthage's ashes." In the grand halls of the Dominion Senate, their generals congratulated each other. They dismissed humanity as another minor species, too naive and too civilized to retaliate. The Dominion was used to crushing resistance, to cowing species into permanent submission with one brutal demonstration. Other galactic powers whispered caution. They had studied humanity's rise. They had seen Terran fleets hold their borders against piracy, seen the iron discipline of their soldiers in peacekeeping campaigns. But the Dominion ignored such warnings. To them, humanity's restraint was weakness. Their diplomacy was cowardice. Their refusal to wield overwhelming force immediately was proof they had none. The Varkun toasted their conquest with blood wine and laughter. They believed they had already won. The silence before the storm. For weeks, Earth said nothing. No declarations of war. No retaliation fleets. Only silence. The galaxy waited, watching carefully. Would humanity submit? Would they retreat inward, abandon their colonies, and lick their wounds? That was what most expected. But deep in the black void between stars, Terran shipyards glowed like forge fires. Fleets stirred. Generals conferred behind sealed doors. Messages spread across encrypted channels. The Dominion's mockery filled the airwaves, but human channels were deathly quiet. Too quiet. When the silence finally broke, it came in a message broadcast across all known space, carried by automated beacons faster than light. To the Varkun Dominion, you mistook patience for weakness. You mistook mercy for cowardice. You killed our people. You executed our envoy. Now you will learn what it means to make war with humanity. We are coming. It was not a threat. It was a sentence. The March of Iron. The first sightings came weeks later. Entire Terran battle groups vanishing from their defense posts. Their coordinates blacked out from nav records. Merchant vessels reported shadows passing them in silent formation. Colossal. Dreadnoughts that moved like predators through the deep. Then the fleets emerged. They struck not at the Dominion's borders but at its heart. At once, across 3 sectors, human warships dropped from FTL and tore apart orbital defenses in minutes. Planetary garrisons, boasting millions of troops, found their skies filled with fire before they could mobilize. Terran dreadnoughts were not sleek like Dominion cruisers. They were slabs of steel and fury, built not for elegance but annihilation. Their broadsides split carriers in half. Their rail cannons fired projectiles the size of transports, punching through cities from orbit. Where Dominion fleets had glassed colonies for cruelty, humanity answered with efficiency. Entire shipyards were erased before alarms finished sounding. Fleets that had celebrated victories found themselves obliterated without warning. For the first time in centuries, the Dominion knew fear. The unrelenting advance, humanity did not fight as the Dominion expected. They did not fall back when wounded. They did not withdraw when outnumbered. They pressed forward with a stubbornness that seemed unbreakable, each loss only fueling their momentum. The Varkun called them mad, but soon they realized the truth. Humanity would not stop, not until the ledger was balanced in blood. Reports spread across the galaxy of human marines landing on fortress worlds, storming bunkers that had never been breached, fighting until their last breath with grenades in hand and fire in their eyes. of Terran fleets that refused to retreat even when surrounded, forcing Dominion admirals to watch as their armadas crumbled under relentless barrages. The Varkun had laughed at human fragility. Now they whispered of their endurance. Ships fought with half their hulls slagged away, with crews coughing blood in poisoned atmospheres. Still hammering the enemy with unbroken fury, the galaxy began to murmur, "This is why you do not provoke Earth." The night of falling suns. The climax came at the Battle of Varkun Prime, the Dominion's capital. They believed their seat of power untouchable, protected by fleets numbering in the thousands, by orbital fortresses larger than moons, by planetary shields fed by entire continents of reactors. But when humanity arrived, the stars themselves seemed to die. Terran fleets poured from hyperspace in silence, eclipsing suns with their numbers. Thousands of dreadnoughts, carriers trailing wings of bombers like swarms of locusts, siege ships designed for one purpose: to erase civilizations. The Dominion commanders laughed at first. They believed no force could pierce their defenses, but laughter turned to screams when the first salvo landed. Orbital fortresses shattered in minutes. Carriers erupted into fireballs that lit the void like false dawns. The planetary shield, thought unbreakable, cracked under a sustained barrage of rail cannon fire and antimatter torpedoes. Then came the voice, a broadcast across every frequency, heard in every bunker and palace on the planet below. "This is for New Carthage. No more warnings. No more restraint. This is the price of your arrogance." Human armies descended like storms, drop pods tearing through the skies, tanks and mechs rolling across continents. Resistance was swept aside with methodical precision. The Varkun Senate was dragged from their gilded chambers. Their fleet commanders hunted through burning streets. The Dominion had thought the war theirs the moment they struck first, but now they understood. Humanity had rewritten the battle, ashes and silence. When it was over, Varkun Prime was nothing but a smoking husk. The Dominion's fleets were gone, their armies shattered, their empire broken. Survivors scattered to the fringes of the galaxy, carrying only whispers and terror. In backwater taverns, in refugee camps, in the ruins of fallen outposts, one phrase passed from mouth to mouth: "Never provoke Earth again." For the galaxy had learned what the Dominion never understood. Humanity's patience is vast. They will endure insult, they will hold back their strength, they will choose restraint while others boast. But once that patience shatters, once the line is crossed, their vengeance is infinite. They are stubborn beyond reason. They fight when no hope remains. And when they rise in retaliation, no fortress, no fleet, no empire can withstand the storm they bring. Epilogue. The weight of revenge. In the years that followed, the ruins of the Dominion stood as monuments to human resolve. No one rebuilt them. No one dared claim their worlds. They remained scarred reminders of the day patience turned to fury. And across the stars, when arrogant voices rose again, boasting of their might, wiser ones silenced them with a single warning: do not mistake Earth's silence for surrender. Do not mistake their mercy for weakness. For battles you believe already won. Humans will fight again, and they will win.